Coffee from Assurance IT.
Yeah, awesome. Happy to be here, Will.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so I guess we're here to celebrate you becoming SentinelOne Paladin. So before we get into the process for you, I just want to talk about what it means for SentinelOne to have Paladins out in the field. We created this program because we really wanted something that set apart individuals that can help our customer base really have the expertise to step in the complicated situations and the complicated SentinelOne projects that really know our solution backwards and forwards, can add value to any size of customer, big and small, and to really distinguish those individuals so that when we get an opportunity with a customer and we realize that they're going to need that additional help, that they're going to really need the highest level of expertise, it was easy for us to go out and work with the Paladins that are in our regions and put them in front of customers that need it the most. I've been in this industry a while and seen all the certification programs come and go, and a lot of it was passing proctored exams and things like that. I think our program is a little different. It's about proving it in the field. So why don't you tell me about what the process was like for you, Will, and how it's gone?
So I think the whole process took around a year. We had to go through a few steps, but officially I started on April 1st as an official Paladin. The process was actually pretty simple in terms of, steps to take. A lot of it was mostly, getting training about how to use the product. And after it's actually using it, so, okay, well, how can I help my customers, either demo, doing POCs, doing full-blown deployments on their environment. And after a while, I've done over 100 of those. We contacted SentinelOne, Mike Amberato, you too, and you guys helped us out with, starting the process of, okay, well, how can I get from where I am currently to becoming a Paladin, right? So the process itself was time consuming, but doing it wasn't too hard itself. And I think, getting there wasn't too hard simply because I have a lot of technical background. I was a programmer beforehand, so the technical aspect of these things, I really enjoy those. And so I really pushed myself, learned how to use the product. I've been playing with the API for a while. So I got to use the product a lot, and that's how I got here, basically.
Yeah, and so what you didn't see, Will, was behind the curtains, this program all starts with a nomination from the field, so the SentinelOne team that operates here in Canada, but also feedback from customers. So you don't even get to that process piece of it without being nominated. So you stood out from day one. We identified some of that technical skill that you referred to and your background, and I think immediately it shone to customers, it shone to us in the field. Maybe in that note, why SentinelOne? What's got you excited about working with us? Why would you pick us to become, such a high-level expert with?
So, as I have a big technical background, I've played around with pretty much all the solutions. I've built my own lab, so I have a full-on EC2 cloud of, I think like 50 machines all interconnected, a whole AD, and I've tested out different products. And at Assurance IT, really what, changes us from other competitors or other companies is that we don't recommend anything that we don't personally use, and we won't resell multiple different products. So we're going to try finding the product that's best for us or that's best for our clients, and we're going to recommend that, and we're going to specialize in that specific product. So in our case, SentinelOne was a clear choice in terms of UI, using it, user friendliness. A lot of competitors, the UI is super hard to use, and I know that my customers simply, first of all, they want to install it and then maybe want to fine tune if they need to, which in most cases with SentinelOne you don't even need to, compared to other competitors where you need to actually fine tune before installing. So you're spending a week just fine tuning and okay, well, how are we going to deploy this? It's so much easier with SentinelOne. And that's just for EDR, but there's other facets. There's going to be the mobile identity too. So for me, it's really the complete package of having everything secured at once.
Yeah, I mean that just gives validity to what we've tried to accomplish. I think be going beyond the endpoint. I think we've always done the endpoint really, really well. But now we've realized that, once you gain that trust with the customer, once we solved that problem for them, there was other problems behind it that maybe we were falling short. And I think, working with a partner like AIT, working with someone like you, just sort of points to what I'm seeing out in the field, which is, certainly most customers or organizations out there don't have a will sitting somewhere in their building, right, ready to go and work on the most complex security projects. And more importantly, where I see sort of the gaps, where breaches happen, where bad days in cyber happen, it's often because there's not a lack of a security solution in place. Was it properly configured? You talk about the ease of use, the simplicity, making sure it's properly configured, best practices, tweaked when it needs to be tweaked, and understanding that you can do the right things from day one and then continue with that simplicity to fine tune it. And I think what worries me is there's not a lot of resources out there. Even if you don't have the will in the building, you can't go out and put a post somewhere on LinkedIn for a job and get 100 applicants who have your skill level. So do you think when you, in your experience working with some of these customers, when you're walking away, do they have that better confidence in their security posture?
So yeah, as you're saying, simplicity. So a lot of times they're not experts in the product, so usually it's sysadmins who just are gonna deploy, and usually for SMBs the sysadmin is also the guy taking care of the security.
Right.
So so what I usually do in my process is, as we're starting out, I'll actually do some onboarding. So I'll show them how to actually use the console, how to do some deployment, how to use the console, how to fine tune it. And as I'm showing that to them, we actually start deploying it with them. So we're doing the full deployment with them. We're holding their hand, showing them, okay, well, this is what we're going to be doing. So they're getting hands-on experience. And at the same time, I can point them towards how to use it maybe a bit better, the use cases, how to create maybe some groups, some physical sites. I think that brings great value to our clients.
Yeah, so, Will, I really like that approach, right? That you're walking away, leaving a customer better than they were before, right? I see a lot of integrators out there, they'll walk in, they'll deploy a complex solution, and they walk away leaving the customer with the keys to the kingdom, and they don't know how to run the castle, right? So I think that knowledge transfer piece that you've put into your approach is so important, because we sell a solution at SentinelOne, and the biggest risk to us with any customer and customer satisfaction is, over time, the solution doesn't solve the problem they started with, and often it's a knowledge gap or a solution that could have been solved had they been in a better position to operate it. And I think with SentinelOne, we kind of have three models. We can sell a customer a solution and they can own and operate it and have no other people involved. We can sell customer a solution and they can reach out to an organization like AIT and bring in someone like yourself, and then they can buy the licenses, but you guys help them with that operational piece, which I think is so important. And I mean, then if they really need that total white glove service, then you guys have put yourself in a great position, to sort of help someone. Like, they don't even have to worry about the ownership, the operations. You guys step in and just handle the whole piece for them, right, from start to finish. So you mentioned sort of over 100 deployments and customers you've worked with. Any crazy stories, any great or success stories that you want to share?
So over these 100 deployments, of course, some of them did include some mistakes at some point from either the client side or my side, and I think that's really how we learn. So yeah, we had a few of them where, mostly in terms of exclusions, where we forgot to bring in the exclusions from either a previous console or from a previous software, and it ended up maybe either breaking something, but we learn from our mistakes. We really have a procedure, so we've created a full list of things to do before changing anything. So a lot of times you get some red tape a bit, which sucks, but in this case it is needed because it's for security. So you need to follow your list and get things done. But most of them have pretty much all of them have been very successful, and I've done a few of them that were many endpoints, and we had to do them manually, so it took a while, but we always figured out a way, whether it's through GPOs, Intune,
Yeah, I think for me, you make a great point. I think for me, the greatest successes are not when it goes flawless. It's when you do overcome the hurdles. And I think that's the reality for most customers, right? They're not going to have a flawless beginning to end deployment, right? There's going to be some challenges. And I point back to, the value of having someone, with what you've done through the Paladin program is, when those challenges do come up, that's when the expertise is key. And that's when you can truly point to a success is, we started this deployment. We knew we were a complex environment. We knew we were going to face some challenges. But thanks to bringing in the right people at the right time, we were able to overcome that. So, I think for us at SentinelOne, that gives us a tremendous amount of confidence. One, to point people towards our solution when we have a partnership with, like you guys at AIT, but also point to, working with you guys in general, because I know from being in this industry a really long time that there's been zero deployments ever in the history of time that have gone without any kind of challenge. So it's foreseeing that those will happen and being able to confidently put, a partner, an integrator in place that can really deliver on our behalf. So I'm really excited about this going forward, obviously. And, I guess I would just wrap things up by once again thanking you for the time and investment that you've put in here, Will. It means a lot to us because, again, we want to be able to confidently get our solution out into customers' hands, but in the right way, we've mentioned a couple times, with the best practices, the right configurations, so that they can sleep at night knowing that they've, done all the right things or everything they can. So thank you very much for the time and investment you've taken to become a Paladin. We're excited to get this out there and get you in front of our customers to make sure we can keep doing the right things.
Thanks to you too. I appreciate your time for coming here. I'm really thankful to have been accepted into the Paladins. It's a big step, and I'll have new accesses and new things, new toys to play around with and learn, because I think that's really my quest, is to always learn more to help out our clients, whether it be new tools that we can use to better secure the environment. At first it was identity, then it was mobile, and now a lot more tools are coming into place where we can play. We're gonna have cloud. Well, we already do have cloud. How we can play with these tools and really help out our clients to become more secure. So I appreciate your time today.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.